сегодня мы поиграем в ретро-матч за Майкла Джордана. О, подождите. Вы видели, да, там Бёрд там был. Давайте перезайду. Давайте просто, кому интересно, я покажу вот эти записи сзади. Вот, смотрите, он против Бёрда играет. Забавно. Так, поиграем за Джордана, нажимаем Enter. Новобранец NBA 1985 года. Третье место небывалое в пунктах выигранных. Выигранных и защитных игрок вознаграждаешь года. NBA в рекорде 10 раз выиграл чемпионаты. Новобранец NBA. Ну, понятно все с вами. Третье место. Третье место обычно выбирают самые слабые команды. Ну как, не самые слабые, слабые. Выбирают обычно
Hello and welcome everyone to Chicago, Illinois. Tonight we rewind the early 90s for a contest between two of the most exciting teams of that era. The brash and aggressive young Charlotte Hornets taking on the preeminent team in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls.
And the Hornets, a relative newcomer, both the franchise, which was started in 1988, and the players. They led this team to its first ever playoff appearance in '93, making it to the second round.
They look to knock off a team in the Chicago Bulls that we find in the midst of its first championship three-peat, a powerhouse ball club if ever you saw one.
And as always, this Bulls team revolves around the Hall of Fame talents of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen at shooting guard and small forward, respectively.
But if the Hornets are to find an edge in this one, it would have to be on their front line, with the athletic and imposing combination of Larry Johnson at power forward and Alonzo Mourning at center. They'll need to have big games if the Hornets are going to win this one.
And as we look at this Bulls team, of course, we mentioned Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, the 6'2" B.J. Armstrong at point guard. And up front, Horace Grant and their center, Bill Carter. The lineup for the Hornets, 5'3" Muggsy Bogues running the show at the point guard. Kendall Gill in at the shooting guard. Wingate in at the three, the small forward. And their talented young front court tandem, Larry Johnson out of UNLV and Alonzo Mourning out of Georgetown. No good from Jordan. Now, guys, if you were trying to, in a nutshell, describe what made Jordan so special, what would you say?
Well, a lot of attributes. I mean, his competitive spirit, his unique physical gifts. I mean, the guy was a tremendous basketball player. You add on top of that, tremendous athleticism as well. He's a guy who could jump, he was strong, tremendous drive and focus. I just think it was his combination of basketball skill and athletic excellence.
And the fact that he was just so driven, I mean, you touched on it, Clark, but that guy wanted to win more than anything else in his life. And he approached every single day as a competition. And he drove himself and his teammates so hard that he just elevated everybody to new heights.
6 on the shot clock. Ball stolen. And here we go. From the low block. Good, he hits the jump shot.
You know, when B.J. Armstrong graduated from Iowa in 1989, he was the Hawkeyes' all-time assist leader with 517.
Bogues with it. Feeds it to Johnson. Passes to Wingate. Kept alive. And the pass to Gill. There's the triple. The shot, no good. Now the Bulls with it. Here's Armstrong. Chance there to take the lead. Missing.
Guys, Alonzo Mourning was in this league a long time, 15 years to be exact, and of course he overcame a very serious kidney disease to return to the NBA and win a championship with the Heat in 2006.
Yeah, and he went on to play in the All-Star game 7 times during his career. 5 of them were with Miami, the other 2 in Charlotte. But Miami was really where he was in his peak. And in fact, he was the first player in Heat history to have his number retired.
Here's Jordan. Here's Pippen. The rebound by Alonzo Mourning. A few unsuccessful trips in a row, and we're still knotted up. And here's Bogues. To stop the drought. Can't hit. Now Chicago takes it the other way.
Great close out there, forcing the errant shot.
Well, he made it a tough shot again. He didn't give up on it, and he got a hand up.
Here are the Hornets with the ball. He's guarded by Cartwright. Goes up at the stripe, and the shot is good. Bogues has got 6.
Now, Muggsy Bogues played at Powerhouse Dunbar High in Baltimore. Played alongside 3 future NBA players, including his Hornets teammate David Wingate. And that team was ranked 1st in the nation at Dunbar, undefeated in Muggsy's junior and senior seasons.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
I think Coach saw a couple of things he wanted to correct. You got to make sure everyone's following the game plan.
So for the Bulls, Purdue comes in for Bill Cartwright, and it's Paxson in for B.J. Armstrong. The Hornets also changing it up. Newman comes in for Wingate, and Bennett subbed in for Bogues. Here's Bennett. He passes to Newman. He's picked up by Pippen. Here's Johnson on the money with the open jumper.
And, you know, you mentioned that high school team that Muggsy Bogues played on, Steve. I mean, despite 4 future NBA players, Bogues was the MVP of that high school team. He also won a gold medal for the U.S. national team in 1986 and had a really good pro career, but also a distinguished amateur career.
So it's Charlotte now. He's covered by Grant. Shot, high post, and good on the basket. Book it. Johnson's got his second bucket. 40 seconds left in the first quarter of the game.
You know, the Paxson name is synonymous with the game of basketball. John's dad and brother, Jim Sr. and Jim Jr., both played in the NBA as well.
He really didn't have the room there to make that pass, guys.
Here's Gill. Wide open shot is on the money. Here's Jordan. He's got 6. Over Gill. The shot by Jordan, no good. Hornets leading by 4. Here's Newman. Knocks it down from 19 feet. Six seconds left to play in the first. 3 seconds left. Nice jump shot. Good. 8 points for Michael Jordan. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Hornets lead by 4.
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
And we'll get back to the action right after this. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment.
Well, Michael Jordan, there's not much you can say about him that hasn't already been said. I mean, you won't get much argument naming him the best player of all time. Great athletically and in terms of basketball skills. Some would say the greatest in any sport. 6 titles and the most decorated player in NBA history.
They've got B.J. Armstrong. King is out there with Williams. Then there's Pippen. And it's Paxson in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Here's Newman. Bogues is called for a loose ball foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul, team's first.
Bulls trail by 4. Now Paxson. Left side Williams. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. It's stolen by Curry. Hornets leading by 4. Here's Johnson, straight up, and he lays that one in. Johnson's got the first basket of the second quarter for the Hornets.
And the individual awards for Michael Jordan, just staggering. I mean, staggering. 5-time league MVP, a 14-time All-Star, 9-time first-team All-Defense, and an NBA record 6 Finals MVPs.
Bogues kicks to Johnson. A steal. Johnson against Pippen. Gets it to go. Here's Bogues. He has 6. And for Jordan Clark, you know, he could have had a lot more awards if not for his 2 retirements in the midst of his career. Why do you think, Steve, let's bring you into, why do you think he needed that time away from the game?
Well, I think he was burned out, Kevin. I mean, you think of the focus on him, the constant scrutiny and attention, and I think he just kind of got worn out from it. He had won 3 titles in a row in Chicago at that point, so he decided to step away, and I think that rejuvenated him because he came back stronger than ever.
Armstrong gets called for the reach. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Bennett. Kicks it to Curry. Wide open.
Well, Michael Jordan impacted the game in so many ways, including in the fashion category. Remember the baggy shorts that eventually became popular? He was really the first guy to wear them.
Yeah, you know what? And he said it wasn't so much about fashion for him, but rather function, because it gave him a chance to hold the hem when he rested. I had not heard that, but I guess it makes sense. It also helped hide the UNC shorts he always wear under his Bulls uniform. So I see where he had a couple of reasons for those long shorts.
Here's Bennett. Passes it to Newman. He's against Jordan. 6 to shoot. Outside for Curry. Fires for 3. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Here's the break. And 3 from Jordan. That is good. Jordan's got 11 points.
Well, he makes that 3 there. That was not Jordan's expertise. Most seasons in his career, he averaged less than 2 attempts per game.
Steve, you were one of the fortunate few who played with Michael Jordan. How was he as a teammate?
Well, Clark, he was incredibly demanding. I mean, he was such a leader, and he drove everyone so hard in practice on a daily basis. And it was not easy. I mean, he would get on you if he didn't think you were bringing it. So he really forced everybody to lift the level of their game.
You know, it should be no surprise to any of us that Jordan has the highest scoring average in history, over 30 points per game.
Here's Bennett. Charlotte calls timeout.
Well, I know what it was like to play with Jordan, but Clark, what were your impressions of playing against him?
Well, I didn't have to go head-to-head with him too much, but I didn't hear him talk a whole lot. I knew he was extremely competitive and a big-time point producer, that's for sure. I didn't get the wrath of his trash talking, because by the time he was starting to do that on a regular basis, I was sitting courtside with the microphone.
The Hornets were a very tough opponent for the Bulls in the 92-93 season. The Bulls won the season series, but it was close. It was 3-2.
Yeah, and Charlotte matched up really well with them, guys. It was very much a strength-on-strength situation. I mean, the Hornets had pieces in all the right places to take on the Bulls and give them trouble during that season.
Now here's Curry, looking for his first bucket of the game. 13 feet out. Morning's shot is good. And the Hornets lead by 1.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter. Got that bucket in no time at all. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
I think both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
Grant backs in. Takes the turnaround J. That's good. Grant's got his first points of the game.
And we see Horace Grant, the third scorer for this Bulls team after Jordan and Pippen. Nice feathery touch for a big man. Well, at 5'3", Muggsy, still the shortest guy ever to play in the NBA, but he made up for it with speed, toughness, and strength. I mean, he was just an incredible defensive player.
And that he was, Steve. I mean, tough as they come. He was raised in inner-city Baltimore and actually got the nickname Muggsy because of his physical style growing up. He was trying to mug guys out there on the court.
Alonzo Mourning.
That free throw good for Mourning.
How about the impact Alonzo Mourning had right away? He was taken second overall in the 1992 draft. Averaged 21 points, 10 boards, and more than 3 blocks per game.
Well, guys, you're talking about tremendous production from a first-year player at the center position. I mean, it's no wonder when he arrived, he vaulted the Hornets into playoff contention immediately.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
You know, guys, as a young player, Alonzo Mourning was a beast. I mean, when he was in high school, he led his team to 51 straight wins in the Virginia State title. And as a senior, he averaged 25 points, 15 boards, and 12 blocked shots.
You know, guys, so that being said, it's no surprise that he was a serious blue chipper when he got to Georgetown. I mean, he panned out immediately, too. He led the nation in blocks his freshman year. With Dikembe Mutombo playing alongside Mourning, that was one of the most feared college front courts ever. I got a chance to see those guys up close, and they were tough.
Well, it's 2 fouls now here in the first half, so we'll see if they let him try to play through it.
Muggsy Bogues. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
I got to give it up to Muggsy. I mean, standing as small as he did, he just was so effective out there. And a great defensive play.
You know what? Even as a bigger guy myself, you got to have tremendous respect for Muggsy. I mean, he was so strong for his size that his height almost was an afterthought. Muggsy Bogues came into the NBA as the 12th pick of the '87 draft, taken by the Bullets, almost his hometown team given his Baltimore roots. But the Hornets snatched him up in the expansion draft the next year.
And Clark, for a player of his size to last as long as he did in the NBA, 14 years, and that's really saying something. He was such a unique player, an incredible defender. So strong and quick and low to the floor. He'd get underneath you and put a ton of pressure on the ball.
Jordan, the rebound by Alonzo Mourning. Mourning's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Bogues against Jordan. Jordan against Bogues. Back to Mourning. No one near him. Got it off in time, but it's no good. We'll see you in just a moment, live here from Chicago.
26.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
And for Jordan, the 92-93 season capped off 7 straight scoring titles and 3 straight NBA championships. Just amazing success. And then he shocked the basketball world by deciding to retire prior to the next season.
Setting the floor for the Hornets. Wingate is out there with Johnson. Then there's Gill. Then it's Bogues. And it's Mourning in at the 5 down low. Free throw good, Jordan. And for Michael Jordan, you know, you were talking about that, Steve. When he retired, he said he'd lost his passion for the game. And he'd played a lot of it, certainly. 3 straight finals, plus the Dream Team and the summer of '92. I'm sure Clark, he was both physically and mentally exhausted.
Yeah, I think so. And then the other part of the equation for him was he admitted that the tragic passing of his father earlier that year was a pretty significant factor as well. I mean, Jordan decided to pursue a career in baseball for a few years. It had been a dream of his dad's that he'd play in the majors, and I think it was a break that he needed from basketball, but also to try to fulfill that dream that his dad had, especially on the heels of his dad passing so tragically.
Here's Bose.
Микрофон упал. Что же это такое?
Now here's Johnson. Front right using his tremendous length to grab the ball. Here's Pippen. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Here's Bose. It's a 5-point game.
Larry Johnson was just an absolute force when he entered the league. Hit the ground running in 1991-92. Averaged 20 points and 11 boards.
Gill against Jordan. Fires at the elbow. Gill misses.
Not a bad look, though. You like his chances to make that one.
You sure do, but he can't hit them all.
And Jordan gets it to go.
Great feed there from Scotty. You know, he was really the primary ball handler for the Bulls in that triangle offense.
Back to LJ, back to Larry Johnson. These Hornets took him number 1 overall. He gave them just what they needed. Very, very tough scorer.
Not only a tough physical presence, but tough-minded as well. Even though he was undersized, guys, he was terrific on the offensive glass and was an absolute beast down low, despite being only 6'5".
The 10-footer. Another one falls for Chicago.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So, shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
And the Hornets call time here.
Playing alongside Jordan, probably the greatest player ever, Scottie Pippen might not have gotten all the credit he deserved. I mean, he was the perfect number 2 guy on those Bull teams. Someone who turned a great team into an absolute dynasty.
Well, they were perfect complements to each other, Clark. Pippen was the distributor on offense, the rebounder, the defender. Jordan, obviously, the scorer and the finisher. But their styles really complemented each other. And together, they formed one of the great defensive tandems on the perimeter in NBA history.
Newman's checked in for Charlotte. Johnson up top. He's covered by Grant. Stolen by Grant.
Tried to use the pump fake there, but the defense didn't buy it.
And the rejection by Mourning.
Mourning was a little undersized for the center position at 6'10", but you could see the great timing, the long arms. He was an excellent shot blocker.
So strong. I mean, you typically wouldn't use the words forceful and graceful at the same time, but they definitely apply to him, no doubt.
Well, you're right. He's one heck of an athlete.
And extremely skilled, too.
You know, guys, there's no question that Alonzo Mourning is one of the greatest defenders the NBA has ever seen. I mean, he was always a huge presence in the middle. In 2 years in a row, 99 and 2000, he was named Defensive Player of the Year.
The Bulls leading by 7. Here's Jordan. Oh, that's blocked. Here comes Muggsy Bogues. 10 points for him. From the baseline. And it's Jordan with the rebound.
And Jordan was no slouch as a rebounder. I mean, over 6 per game was his career average.
The fadeaway jumper nailed by Michael Jordan.
Tell you what, to be successful, this team needs his scoring, and they're really counting on him.
Hornets trail by 9. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked. Really strong and together.
Yeah, very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
And the Hornets call time here.
Kevin, these Hornets were somewhat of an unbalanced team. I mean, they had a very young front court, but a backcourt stocked with veterans.
And if you are going to be unbalanced, and that's the way you'd want to do it, with players like Bogues at the point and Gill at the 2-guard, guiding the young guys up front, I mean, that was an incredibly gifted team.
Will Purdue's checked in for Chicago. And the Hornets making a change here as well. Gaddison's checked in. Here's Newman. He couldn't stay in bounds, and that's going to be a turnover.
Just a total lack of focus, was not paying attention to where he was.
And here are the Bulls now. They're on a 10-2 run here. He feeds it to Grant. Deflected. It's stolen by Johnson. For the finish. And the big slam for Larry Johnson.
And Larry Johnson with the big-time finish there. Get out of the way.
There's 1:38 left in the third quarter. With the fadeaway. And Jordan trains the fadeaway.
Boy, they just cannot figure out a way to stop this guy this quarter, Kevin.
Hornets trail by 9. Bogues with it. He's got 10. Here's Gill. He goes up. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Gill was a coveted player when he entered the draft in 1990 out of Illinois. The Hornets took him with the 5th overall pick.
And you know, Steve, he was coveted because he was a versatile player. He could do a little bit of everything. Scored the ball, he defended well, he rebounded, he made assists. There wasn't much Kendall Gill didn't give you as a basketball player. In college, Gill was part of the famous Flying Illini team at the University of Illinois that made the Final Four in 1989. That was a fun team to watch.
A beautiful fadeaway jumper by Jordan.
That's 10 straight points on mid-range jump shots.
You know, the paraphrase of Bible verse that says love covers over a multitude of sins, good shooting does the same thing in basketball.
For 3. Chicago grabs the miss. Pippen's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Jordan. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, that should be a rule. No layups. Protect the paint. Make them earn every point.
Yeah, I think that's just tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth basketball. Make your opponent earn their points from the line. Don't give up any layups.
The first one falls. And some changes for Chicago. Williams is checked in for Purdue. King comes in for Horace Grant. And it's Paxson in for B.J. Armstrong. The Hornets also changing it up. Morning's checked in for Newman. Curry comes in for Gill. And Bennett subbed in for Bogues. And so he makes both from the line. Here's Bennett. Ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
He is to avoid mistakes and make each possession count.
Yeah, and I think the tendency can be to really rush or push the game a little bit. I think they need to avoid that.
John Paxson spent his college days at Notre Dame, but he had a very storied high school career in my home state. He grew up in Kettering, Ohio.
Well, he was drafted 19th by the Spurs in 1983 and signed with the Bulls a couple of seasons later, providing them with some clutch shooting over the years. And you got to love what he's been able to do with the ball in his hands in this game.
Lots of room. Williams pulls it in. Williams has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Can't drop the tough three-pointer. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game.
How about Michael Jordan in this one? He's got 33 points, and he's also been solid at the foul line. 4 points for him from there.
Yeah, nice job there. You can't let those opportunities at the line slip away, and he's converted his.
And it's more NBA action coming your way here on 2K Sports. Here's Bogues. They've got John Paxson. King is out there with Pippen. Then it's Williams. And it's Armstrong in at the 1. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket. Now, John Paxson had an 11-year career as a player, and now he's the vice president of basketball operations for the Bulls, trying to bring this modern Bulls team up to the same level as the team he played on.
To the paint, got a piece of it. The Bulls will retain possession.
Ну, в смысле он меня толкнул? В смысле им шар? Самая честная игра сейчас. Самая честная.
Here's Bose. And Clark, they're going to have to make a pretty big comeback here.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think the clock is a factor right now, at least not yet. I mean, they don't need to change their pace of play. Keep attacking.
Yeah, I agree. You got to make sure you take your time, but start to be more effective and efficient with each possession, and you got to buckle down defensively.
And here are the Bulls now. Here's Armstrong. Another one falls for Chicago. Here's Bose. He's covered by Armstrong. Morning inside, working on Williams. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
So far in the game for Morning, he has 8 points, and he's gotten his hand on one shot for a block.
Well, it was a terrific play he made on that block. And those are the kinds of little plays, Clark, that generate extra possessions for your team. They can add up.
And the first one at the line is good. And some changes for Chicago. Bill Purdue's checked in for Williams. Grant comes in for King. And Michael Jordan subbed in for John Paxson. The Hornets also changing it up. Gaddison, he's checked in for Johnson. Hill comes in for Newman. And it's Williams in for Bose. And so he hits both. Here's Jordan. Guarded by Curry. A nice shot by Jordan. Jordan's got 35.
Well, the defense has to commit so much attention to him. He's just an important part of this offense.
Williams against Armstrong. Outside Curry. Left side Curry. Jumps up. Pass to Morning. 4 on the clock. Gaddison gets whistled for a loose ball foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And Will Purdue later on traded away to the Spurs for Dennis Rodman. I think that was a pretty nice transaction for the Bulls, don't you think?
No, it was a great pickup. Rodman came in and really ignited that second three-peat for the Bulls. The one thing that was missing from that team was somebody who could rebound the ball. So Rodman was the ideal fit. And Purdue traded down to San Antonio. That turned out to be an excellent deal for Chicago.
Now here's Pippen.
Ну, свали.
First personal foul, team foul. Shooting for Chicago. Scottie Pippen. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
Четвертый минут.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And, you know, his teammates, guys, I used to watch it every day. Jordan and Pippen would push each other so hard. And they loved to compete in every single drill. And it really elevated the play of the entire team.
Charlotte calls timeout.
And obviously, coach doesn't want them giving up all these inside buckets. They need to do a better job of moving their feet, staying in their stance, and keeping their man in front of them.
Here's Williams. He's covered by Armstrong. 18 feet away. The rebound by Jordan. The Bulls leading by 12. And that falls. Jordan's got 37. Here's Williams. He's covered by Armstrong. Fires from 14. Gets the bucket.
Well, he's getting it warmed up now after that cold first half.
Here's Armstrong.
Now, B.J. Armstrong, 6'2" shooter, grew up in Detroit, and the 18th overall pick by the Bulls in the 1989 draft. He was the starting point guard in the 92-93 season and a reserve before that. Jordan is such a skilled defender. I mean, how's this for a stat? In his third year in the league, he had over 200 steals and 100 blocks. First guy ever to do that. That wasn't an easy call, but I think it was the right one. Looked like he got hit on the way up.
Yes, sir. Clearly gets him while he's releasing the ball there, Steve. No doubt about it.
And the first one drops.
You know, talking about B.J. Armstrong, to follow up on what you said, Steve, reliable, durable. At one point, he played 577 straight games. I mean, those were things that I thought epitomized who he was. And he was an NBA All-Star in '94 and a really consistent spot-up shooter and an underrated defender, too.
Now, B.J. Armstrong went to work in the Bulls front office upon retirement, but he's since gone into the agent business. In fact, he represents Derrick Rose.
And, you know, for B.J. Armstrong, it's about trying to help younger players, whether it's on the court or off the court. I think that's one of his great qualities, the fact that he wants to see young players succeed.
Here's Jordan following the bucket by the Hornets. Over Bogues. Cans the shot from the wing. Jordan's got 41.
Yeah, this club well on its way to victory. A beautiful offensive execution.
Yeah, I like the fact that it was wire to wire too, guys. A fantastic job for them.
Yeah, he did awfully well to thread that pass there into the paint.
124 left in the fourth quarter of this one. They can take their time on this possession.
You know, guys, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, it gives themselves a little break, too.
Catch their breath, yeah. Here's Bogues. He's covered by Armstrong. From about 19 feet, and it's Bogues missing. The Bulls leading by 14. Bunny shot. No good from Jordan. So it's Charlotte now. It's a 14-point game. The feed now to Curry. Lets it go with the three. The rebound by Jordan. And here are the Bulls now. A floater. Here comes Muggsy Bogues. He's picked up by Jordan. Deflects the pass and stolen by Jordan. 13 feet out, and he connects with the jumper. Jordan's got 45 points.
Looks like it's over. Double-digit margin, clock running down. Just take care of the ball now.
Yep, it's a simple equation. This one's over. Use the clock and take care of the arm.
Open look. It's all in by the Bulls. Here's Pippen. Makes the most of the high percentage shot. And the Bulls lead by 18.
I think that may do it here. They're trying to put the nail in the coffin.
Well, just adding to the lead as we approach the final buzzer.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin.
Yeah, they protected their home court against the Charlotte Hornets. No surprise there. Repeat NBA champs.
And they're always tough on their home floor. The Hornets gave it their all, but came up short.
Well, that'll do it for us for now, and the look at the incomparable Michael Jordan. For Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, this is Kevin Harlan saying, thanks for watching the NBA's greatest on 2K Sports.
Джордан. Ауф. Он О, да. Ладно, с вами был я, Самап. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки. Пишите комментарии, за кого мне играть и против кого. Обязательно указывайте, за кого мне играть. Ну а с вами был я, Самап. Всем пока-пока.